Who knows how deep the Shadow's roots have taken hold here?
I do want to talk a little bit of some spoiler questions, but before we get to that, Ceara, I wanted to start with you because we've already gotten the heads up, thanks to casting, that Elayne's family will be showing up in season 3. But I did want to ask how the addition of these characters really helped flesh out for you who Elayne is as her story moves forward, especially as she's navigating her responsibilities as both Daughter-Heir and an aspiring Aes Sedai.
Absolutely. It was really wonderful to have all these characters introduced and it, because in season 2, Elayne is very much presented as a fish out of water, and she's the Daughter-Heir, and everyone's kind of coming to terms with what that is and what that means. And so to then be in season 3 and be able to kind of bring that world into her new life and see her relationships with her family and really kind of visualize what the throne and what Andor looks like. It's a really really wonderful journey that Elayne goes on. And her world has kind of been cracked open at the end of season 2, and she's had these experiences that have really made her question whether she is as ready to be the future queen as she thought she was. And she's kind of seen all these faults in her knowledge and places in which she can grow or even apply herself to help the great cause. And it's a real wonderful thing to kind of be playing out these dynamics that are spoken about before, but actually to be able to see them on screen and have incredible actors play these roles as well. I felt very lucky to be working alongside Olivia Williams and Luke Featherston and Callum Kerr. They just brought these characters to life so incredibly that there was very little work to do, really.
I mean, I feel like for you too, Ayoola, you're sort of in a similar position because this is also the season where we're getting a deep dive into the Aiel culture. I mean, we've met the maidens already, but we've also had, new characters, new casting announced before this conversation. What did you really enjoy about getting to dig into the Aiel culture, especially with the characters journeying to the waste? Like, did that change your approach to Aviendha at all once you kind of were able to fully immerse yourself in where she comes from?
Yeah, definitely. I think it 100% informed me this year. This season, I was really blown away by the kind of emotional effect of what it felt like to be in the Aiel Waste and to be kind of to bring her home in that sense, and also to be bringing her home with this kind of internal struggle about how she feels about Rand as the Karakhan. And I think in season 2 we have her in such a kind of driven and direct, goal-orientated kind of state. She has a very strong purpose, and by the end of the season she kind of achieves that in a sense. And with season 3 and kind of journeying back and getting this expansion to her world and with the Aiel, we get to see why it's such a big deal and to feel not just her personal, like, singular kind of responsibility of who this man is, what this prophecy is, but to feel that through a whole group of new people. And it was such an incredible feeling to see that world expand and to physically see that world expand as well, and to see what Cold Rock's Hold and all of these places actually look like and be inside of them. And all of the new characters that we're going to meet this season, they're so fantastic, and I think everyone's going to really, really love them.
I mean, speaking of something that I loved and was delighted by, the premiere for both of your characters, I think in the books, I always have had the sense that Aviendha has been Elayne's wing woman in a sense and is sort of like her number one fan. But I feel like the relationship between your characters takes a turn that maybe some people may not be expecting, and it really deepens them beyond just a shared connection to Rand. I wanted to know what your reaction was when you kind of read that in the script, kind of saw that this is how the relationship between them was going to be deepening, and maybe talk about were there any conversations about how long these two have kind of been doing this little dance around each other leading up to that moment?
Yeah, I was really excited when I read that we were going to be diving into this in this season, and so soon as well. Like, our characters kind of obviously only just meeting in the story, in the timeline of the show, but I really love the idea that they just have such a strong connection and a strong attraction to each other, and I think that is something that's really evident in the books as well. And so to be able to like explore that and to kind of plant this seed very early and kind of know that this is something that like we hope to come back to and to explore, and this kind of connection to each other. It was really lovely.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's nice to see two people just go after what they want, and I think that's demonstrated by how early it happens, and I think that kind of it connects nicely to them and their relationship, but also to what kind of people they are individually, I think, as well, and the women that they're becoming over this time. I think it will definitely be a surprise to some people and not to others, and I think there is that ambiguity that kind of goes through the relationship in the books. But I think, and I guess, we all thought that it feels quite clear. And so I think it's nice that we are just tipping it over and making it, this is what it is.
I was delighted personally. So, nice to have it officially confirmed. But thank you both so much for your time. It's always a pleasure to speak with you about the show. And I'm very excited for everyone else to get to see what I have so far. But I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.